In the land of Azura, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, there lived a horse named Thane. Thane was no ordinary horse, for he possessed a heart full of courage and a spirit that shone like the brightest star. Thane's master, a kind and just knight named Sir Edward, had been traveling through the treacherous forest of Malachi, seeking to vanquish the dark sorcerer, Malachi, who had been terrorizing the countryside. But what Sir Edward didn't know was that Malachi had a personal vendetta against him, for Sir Edward had once thwarted his plans to summon an ancient evil. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, the shadows grew darker, and the air thickened with malevolent energy. Thane's instinct screamed warning, but Sir Edward pressed on, driven by his quest for justice. Suddenly, a band of Malachi's minions ambushed Sir Edward, their swords glinting in the fading light. Thane charged forward with a fierce neigh, trampling the attackers and sending them scattering, but as the last minion fell, Malachi himself emerged from the darkness, his eyes blazing with evil intent. "You fools," Malachi spat. "You think you can defeat me? I have made a pact with the Shadow King himself." Thane positioned himself between Malachi and Sir Edward, his eyes flashing with defiance. But Malachi unleashed a dark spell, causing Thane's vision to blur and his legs to falter. Sir Edward rallied, but Malachi summoned a horde of twisted, nightmarish creatures from the depths of the forest. As the creatures closed in, Thane's vision cleared, and he saw Sir Edward surrounded. With a mighty whinny, Thane launched himself at the creatures, his hooves pounding the earth and sending them scattering. But Malachi seized the opportunity to strike, his dark magic piercing Thane's heart. Sir Edward screamed in horror as Thane fell, his vision fading to black. But Thane's spirit refused to yield. Summoning a deep well of ancient power, he transformed into a being of pure light, banishing the darkness and sending Malachi stumbling backward. The Shadow King himself emerged from the shadows, his presence like a cold wind. "You dare defy me," he hissed, his voice like a knife's edge. Thane, now a shining avatar, confronted the Shadow King, their powers clashing in a spectacular display of light and darkness. Sir Edward, freed from the creature's grasp, joined the battle, his sword slicing through the shadows, to strike the final blow. As the Shadow King dissipated into nothingness, Malachi let out a defeated scream, his dark magic unraveling. The forest of Malachi began to heal, its darkness receding like a tide. Sir Edward rushed to Thane's side, embracing the horse's neck as he transformed back into his physical form. "You saved me, Thane," Sir Edward whispered, tears streaming down his face. "You saved us all." Thane nuzzled his master's chest, his heart still pounding from the battle. Together, they rode out of the forest, into a brighter future, their bond stronger than ever. But the memory of that terror would haunt them forever, a reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike.